Towers of Midnight. Now, this is where it's very obvious that Sanderson has a little bit more influence, and some of the characters start to kind of fall off the map. Where we start to be like, well, what about this guy? What's he doing? What's he doing? Um, so quick kind of synopsis on this bad boy. Uh, Not as much happens that I really give a shit about. Now, basically, a lot of this is the kind of the opening round, right? The opening blows of the final battle. So I didn't go too much into it, but basically, Egwene and them, they're well, Rand. Rand is obviously massing everyone for the final battle. So this book actually takes place over the course of like, I don't know, like a fucking day or two. It's kind of weird. So Perrin is like super behind schedule in this book. So they're kind of like rapidly shoving his arc forward. So I misspoke earlier. I think this book is where we get that Perrin trial, but it's not really important because I just went over it. So basically, this book's also kind of a Perrin book. Perrin basically not fully, but comes more and more and more in tune with his spirit wolf going into the spirit realm kind of shit. And it's cool. It is a cool fucking it's cool stuff. We get like basically like a fucking Inception fight in the dream world, and it's pretty crazy actually. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's one of those scenes where I can't imagine how Robert Jordan would have wrote it. Because he never wrote anything like that at that scale, like that complexity with like a specific scene, right? So Jordan does the let me back up. Let's go character by character. So Matt is also kind of the star of this fucking book. Pretty much the whole second half is just Matt. So Matt ends up going to the Tower of Genji to save Moraine, right? Because they are under the impression that she is trapped there and not actually dead. Now, to get into the tower, now I haven't brought this up, but I kind of did. I mentioned there's a game called Snakes and Foxes that they've been playing, that Oliver has been playing throughout the entirety. It's kind of like Chutes and Ladders, right? Where it's just like there's no winning the game. It's all a trap, but it's actually a secret way to get into the Tower of Genji. So basically, they find a way into this tower, and inside the tower is actually just well, it's another fucking universe. Like, it's another dimension. It's very strange. And this is where the Aelfinn and the Eelfinn live. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the Aelfinn and the Eelfinn because, well, there's a lot to it. And they're intentionally mysterious creatures. They've been featured in some of the other books when they go through the red stone doorway to Terangrial. They're creepy. They're creepy as fuck. And most of it would just be me telling you what happened while he was there, because we don't get a lot of lore about them, which, don't get me wrong, I kind of love that. Robert Jordan never actually says, hey, what's the fucking deal with these? He never does. We just we see them, we interact with them, but we don't actually really ever fucking learn anything about them. They're just kind of there, and they're freaky as fuck. So we finally get the Matt showdown with the Aelfinn and the Eelfinn. He's interacted with both, and he fucking hates them both. And we get this, and I'm not going to spoil it because I'm going to try not to get too into it, but it's really good. Basically, they go in, they say more, right? And let me fucking very, 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 very quick spoiler. I'll give you like 5 seconds. So way back in the first fucking book. Min predicted this. Min literally saw this in her fucking visions on Matt, where he was gonna lose an eyeball, and she didn't know what the fuck it meant. It was kind of like the reader was supposed to guess on their second read through kind of shit. But when he talked to I can't remember, it was either the Aelfin or the Eilfin. One of them said he was going to have to give up half the light of the world to save the world. Now, what the fuck does that mean? Well, they pluck his fucking eyeball out here, so that's what that means. Okay, that's. But it's like a really crazy twist, so I didn't want to spoil it for everybody. So, we're back, everybody. So, they save Moiraine, and what I love about this sequence, about this whole scene in here, is basically all of it, we already knew how it was going to happen because of the small, tiny context clues that we were given by Jordan through the last 10 fucking books, where he planted all the seeds, right? He was very tricky with his words, and very intentional with his words. Like, he didn't mince words when he would talk about what we had and what we didn't have, and what Matt was doing and who he was. So I fucked with it so hard. I loved it. I loved the whole Tower of Genji sequence, and seeing Moiraine again, that was something else. It's so funny because for books 1 through 5, like when she was alive, I didn't really like her that much because I was so in tune with Rand, right? Where it's like, who is this cryptic woman trying to tell me what to do, always trying to be the boss of me? But by the time this book came out, man, I missed her. I missed her so much because without her, we were lost. You know, we didn't know what we were supposed to do next. And she always knew what the best idea, well, maybe not the best, but she always knew, she always had an idea of what to do, right? She was always kind of a guiding light, and she was like the one person we could always trust. We knew, especially once we read the prequel, we knew without a doubt in our hearts that we could trust Moiraine, and she was taken from us. So to see her again was just, it's very, very, like, I called her the Gandalf of this series for a fucking reason. It's because she is. But in the Wheel of Time, it was a much longer simmer. So the payoff was insane. We didn't even know she was going to come back until like 4, maybe 3 books ago, that it was even a possibility. So it was great. I loved her coming back, because originally I was kind of like, I don't know, I kind of don't believe in bringing characters back like that, but I think it was great. I think it actually worked out really well. So on to one thing I wasn't crazy about, and Moiraine and Tom apparently are romantically involved, right? So they get her out, and Tom is like, oh yes, I'm here for you. And she's like, oh my god, Tom, I'm so glad you came. I'm glad you guys figured it out. I want you to be my warder and my husband. And I was like, hold on a second. So, and I know what you're gonna say. I went to the Reddit, and this was my only post I ever made in that fucking sub. I said, hey, did I fucking miss something? Why, like, when Moiraine came out of the Tower of Genji, why was she suddenly like in love with Tom? Like, what the fuck is this about? And the unanimous answer was, read it again and pay attention this time. And I was like, okay, fuck y'all, but all right, that's what I'll do anyway. So I read the series again, and I'm here to tell you, I don't see it. I don't fucking see it. There's like 2 scenes, right, in the first couple of books where nicest Reddit interaction. They were kind of sassy about it, but there was like 2 interactions where it wasn't even like Tom being like, she's actually kind of bad, bro. It was more so just like they had a mutual respect for each other at a certain point in like the 4th book, because they only see each other for like a tiny bit of the 1st book and some of the 3rd, and like that's it. They don't really fucking interact that much. And the small bits where they do, like, yeah, sure, Tom has like a really big distrust for Aes Sedai. The idea is because his nephew used to be able to channel, and so they took his nephew to the tower and they fucking gentled him, right? Which is just the male version of stilling, basically just like a lobotomy, right? So he has no love for Aes Sedai, and I guess in the 1st book the idea was he was gonna realize like, oh, okay, Moraine's kind of different from all of them, right? But then in the fucking beginning of the 4th book, when she sends Tom on this errand with Egwene and Elaine, or not Egwene and Elaine, Nynaeve and Elaine, she basically fucking blackmails him, and she basically blackmails him into doing it, kind of forces his hand. And I'm supposed to fucking believe that these guys are actually, like, these two are like secretly fucking in love this whole time, or that he thinks enough of her to like, oh my god, I actually love her. I don't know, man. I needed like 1 or 2 more scenes, like 1 or 2 more scenes with them. Like, give me one good scene where we get to see her tough girl facade break a little bit for Tom or something. But like, we didn't see any of that. So this is my one huge, and this was like obviously a Robert Jordan thing. Like, he wanted this to happen. So like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know what he thought he was cooking there. But that was weird. I didn't like that. That was like one of the few things in this whole franchise where it stuck out to me, where I was like, man, why the fuck did he do that? Like, why the fuck did he do that? I don't get it. So that's one thing that I didn't like. Also, Tom Maryland's like fucking 900 years old. This dude's old as shit. And making him a warder, like, okay, sure, it makes him a little more spry or whatever the fuck. Let me tell you, bro has nothing to fucking do in the next book during the final battle. I'll get to it though. I will get to it. God, the next book's gonna be like an hour-long talk. So Towers of Midnight, the other arcs, Rand is now on his redemption tour. Basically, he's going everywhere that he fucked everyone over, and he's like, hey bro, I'm fucking sorry. I was an asshole, and I'm better now. So how about we team up to fight the final battle together? And that's basically his entire story in this one. He does go to Egwene. Now, I love this scene very much. So Egwene is now the Amerlin seat, right? And she has not seen Rand in 7 books. It's been a long fucking time, and a lot has changed. Rand has been through everything ever. He has literally had the weight of the world on his shoulders, and it's very easy to see. But so has Egwene. And Egwene is, as we know, stubborn as hell. They both are. And so he goes to the White Tower, and he says, hey, Egwene, good to see you. So the seals on the Dark One's prison, yeah, I'm gonna fucking break them. Straight up. I'm just gonna fucking break them and let them loose. And everyone, understandably, is like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Why would you do that? That's insane. And he says, look, last time, mind you, in this, now from this point on, he is speaking as both Lews Therin and as Rand. It's actually really cool. He said, look, 3,000 years ago when I did this, we fucked up. The seal wasn't strong enough. So I need to break them all and reforge them. It'll be like 5 seconds. It'll be chill. Don't worry about it. To which she understandably is like, no, absolutely fucking not. What the fuck is wrong with you? No, under no circumstances are you going to do that. And if I have to pick sides, if I have to literally raise half the nations against you, I'm going to do it. I'm going to fucking do that. That's insane. So basically Rand says, look, this place called the Fields of Marilor, that's where I'm staging my army for the final battle. You're free to join us. And you know what? We can talk about it there. And that's what they did. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about it later. Okay, sweetie. All right, cool. Break. So that's how that goes. Now, Avienda has also potentially one of my favorite stories in this book. So she wants to become a wise woman, and part of her final trial is she has to go to Roydion again. Now, she left to go to Roydion in the last book, but in this book she actually gets there. Now, she goes to Roydion. She sees the things that she already knows, right? She sees the past, which Rand has already spoiled for everybody in the Aiel. However, she's looking around at all this magic shit, and she's like, there's no fucking... How am I supposed to help my people? I already know all this shit. What the fuck is the point? Well, she touches a different magic artifact out of curiosity, because Avienda has a special ability where she can look at a magic artifact and kind of just instinctively know what it does. So she touches this new artifact, and it shows her the future. Not like silly little auras, the future. No. Just like it showed the past, it shows the future through every generation of her offspring, from the farthest future to the last of her people to like her literal kids. And it is one of the most heartbreaking fucking scenes in the entire series, where with the best of intentions, the Dragon Reborn tries to make world peace, and he tries to set everything straight, but the Aiel fuck everything up because they aren't really included in the peace negotiations with the Shan-Chan. So basically, she has to watch the ruination of her people, who she is still fiercely loyal to and loves very much, right? She's a very proud, stoic character. So she has to watch the ruination of her entire fucking race at their own hands, right? Where they kind of turn on each other, they're kind of infighting, and because they fight the Shan-Chan disjointed, the Shan-Chan wipe the floor with them. Absolutely fuck them up. And literally reduce them to begging for scraps, digging out of trash. Like, it's just so sad. So fucking heartbreaking. So basically, with this newfound knowledge, she has to try to change the future, but she's just like the kind of girlfriend, wife of the Dragon Reborn. Like, how the fuck is she gonna do that? So, we'll get there. Don't worry. Like I said, this book is one of those ones where not a lot of time goes by, but a lot of the characters have to do their final movements to get places. So, Perrin, long story short, he makes it home. I think this is the book actually where he has that trial. I forgot about that. So he makes it to the Fields of Maralore. No big deal. That's pretty much it, honestly. This book is pretty solid. A lot of page time is spent with Perrin and with Mat, kind of doing all that, and then with fucking Rand trying to fix everything. Now, he doesn't approach the Shan-Chan because he's like, I don't know, I kind of fucked that up, bro. I don't know, dog. So he's kind of just resigned to let that sit where it is. So that's Towers of Midnight. Overall, the high points. Now, let me talk about the obvious climactic battle. There's a Forsaken on the loose in the White Tower, right? Killing motherfuckers. Masana, who kind of an underused character. We didn't really get to see her until this moment. So she's on the loose in the tower in the real world, and then Rand saying, "Nah, bro," cracks. I mean, really, he kind of did, bro. He really was like, "Nah, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I love you, girl, but I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want." So we've got the Masana doing that, and then Perrin doing his dream world wolf stuff. And this fight's crazy. So he's fighting a guy named Lord Luke / what is his name? Yeah, Slayer. So Slayer's like his colloquial name. He has two actual names, but it's not fucking important. His colloquial name is Slayer. That's what all the wolves call him. That's what's important. So basically, they duke it out in the spirit world in the White Tower. And it is very, I kind of said Inception. It's kind of like Man of Steel almost. Because in the dream world, whatever you think is real. So they're like throwing each other around, breaking through walls and shit, imagining the other one in like a pit of goo. Just like weird, crazy shit. Like the most mind-breaking kind of shit. Really fucking cool shit. Really cool. And at the same time, fucking Egwene is having this battle with one of the Forsaken herself. And again, we get another phenomenal Egwene moment where she is confronted by Masana. Now, Masana is old, right? She's one of the Forsaken. She's from like 3,000 years ago. Masana slaps an Idom, right? That's the Shan-Chan slave collar onto Egwene. Now, Egwene had one on back in book 2, and it was a huge traumatizing moment for her to be a slave like that and to be controlled. And it's a reoccurring theme where she's like, I will never be chained again. No one will ever control me. I am my own person. But because they're in the dream world, right? Egwene, like, she panics at first, but then she just imagines it has no power over me. And you know what? It fucking works. And she takes that fucking shit off, and she, while in that moment of amazement, slaps that collar onto the Forsaken. And literally, the Forsaken, because she's never been powerless like that, she's in this moment of just like, she basically gives herself a fucking stroke and makes herself retarded, like trying to struggle, and it's actually fucking hilarious. She literally is just like having a fucking brain aneurysm trying to get this thing off, and then just, my name is Masana, and that's it. That's so, again, such a fun way to win a battle like that. Whereas, yeah, she could have just put the collar on her and then vaporized her right there. No one would have given a flying fuck about it. But instead, she literally just turns her into like this brain dead fucking slave. Like, bro, that's so fucking good. That's fucking hilarious to me. I don't actually know what happens to Masana. I think the idea is that she probably died of natural causes after that, because she's like literally brain dead. Kind of like a Matrix situation. I'm pretty sure that's how that went. Yeah, Egwene dude, I'm telling you, these 3 books are Egwene books. Egwene she goes so fucking hard in these books. So, sorry, enough gushing about Egwene. So we get this is like the side character book for the most part. It's because Rand had his big arc. Now this is like finishing up the side characters. That's pretty much all that happens in this book. We get a little more stuff in the Borderlands. Lan is on his way to Tarwin's Gap. Rodel Ideraldo, which I haven't really talked about much because he's kind of a side character. He's like one of the great generals. He's holding the line in Aradomon against the Blight. Rand comes in at the last minute and saves him from this like huge onslaught of Trollocs, kind of like a 1v 10 billion orcs kind of thing. Really cool shit. And they start kind of gathering it at the Fields of Maralore. And that's pretty much all to this book. Now, this one's kind of a hard one. Like I said, I correct myself. This is the one with the Perrin trial. And yeah, that part of the art kind of sucks. And again, Perrin kind of struggles in this one. He has some really good moments, but fuck, man, I am so tired of the, like, I don't know if I have what it takes to be a leader. And don't get me wrong, by the end of this book, he finally snaps out of it, but it took him long enough. You know, like, his arc wasn't as satisfying as I feel like it could have been, you know? Like, I just wanted him to fucking buck up. Like, buck the fuck up, be the ruler that all your people obviously see you as, that your fucking amazing wife is literally assuring you constantly that you are. Like, bro, there is no fucking look around, bro. There is no question that you are the man. You are the fucking guy. And it kind of drags down this book, I'm not gonna lie. Other than that, I had a really good time with it. And I know this is also kind of, first off, second off, third off, whatever. Here's my and this, so I think I know my rating for Towers of Midnight. Originally, I'm really tempted to put it in amazing, but I have to drop it to great. And here's why. Loyal. Our faithful, our ever faithful friend, our Ogier friend Loyal, who has also been through an insane fucking journey. Now, I have not talked that much about them in general, but I will never forgive Sanderson for this. So, part of the seeds that Robert Jordan planted in Knife of Dreams, his last book, there was something called the Book of Translation, which very, 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 very short, because surprise, surprise, no one elaborated on it. Basically, the Ogier are going to have what's called a stump. And the stump is basically a council where all the leaders of the Ogier convene and decide what to do. And the Book of Translation is basically their way of leaving this world. Now, I don't know how that works. As far as I know, Ogier are not capable of channeling. But that, like I said, it didn't really elaborate on it, because I'm assuming we were going to get more on that in the next books, but, Jordan fucking died. And I'm assuming he just didn't leave any notes about what he wanted to do with this. So, in Knife of Dreams, we get so this book doesn't actually, these series, there are no epic speeches that resonate with me at all, ever. Not a single one of them, except for one. And it is delivered by fucking Loyal. Once pacifist Ogier that is now like a hardened warrior after his travels. Hold on, I gotta find this shit. Hold on, let me. Literally on the wiki, it is his fucking pinned quote. That's how you know. That's how you fucking know, right? When fire threatens trees, we do not run away and hope that the flames will not follow us. We fight. Now the shadow is coming like a wildfire, and we dare not run from it. Bro, you fucking for real? That's fucking badass. And there's a scene in Knife of Dreams. So that was in the last book, but there's a scene in Knife of Dreams, right, where I didn't really get into like Ogier culture and shit. Basically, his mom comes and finds him because in Ogier terms, he's like 90 years old. He's like a teenager in their years, because they lived like 1,000 fucking years, right? So he's like a teenager. So his mom comes to find him, and his mom brings him a wife, right? Because that's just how their culture works. The mom convenes with another mom and says, hey, you got a boy, I got a girl, hey, they're gonna get married. It's like an arranged marriage kind of situation. So, but the girls have all the power. Kind of fun. So not as important, but basically his mother is a speaker, right? So her whole job is giving these fucking orations, these speeches. And she and Elder Hammond are kind of both on the same side, where they're like, yeah, we got to get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, the humans kind of fucked everything up. This isn't really our fight. And Loyal reads a lot of books. And he read the books about back in the day, during the War of Power, right? The War of the Shadow. And he gives this insanely rousing speech. Okay, so here's the context, right? Here's the context. They're in the attic of this manor, and this is when Rand fights like those 10,000 Trollocs that are coming to kill him. And his mom is convincing him, hey, we need to leave, right? We got to get the fuck out of here. We gotta just abandon the humans to their fate. And this is his response. In the War of the Shadow, we did not huddle in our steading. Steading is like That's where they live. It's like a little grove where magic doesn't work. Hoping no Trollocs or Murdral would be driven to enter, we did not open the Book of Translation and flee. We marched alongside the humans and fought the Shadow. In the Trolloc Wars, we neither hid in the steading nor opened the Book or Translation. We marched with the humans and fought the Shadow. In the darkest years, when hope seemed gone, we fought the Shadow. When it is the Shadow that must be fought, our axes have always grown long handles. Axes growing long handles is their phrase for being hasty, by the way. Perhaps in a year, or 5, or 10, we will open the Book of Translation. But if we do it now, we cannot run away with any real hope of safety. Tarmangaiden, which is the last battle, is coming. And on that hangs the fate of not only this world, but of any world we might flee to. When fire threatens the trees, we do not run away and hope the flames do not follow us. We fight. Now the Shadow is coming like wildfire, and we dare not run from it. I mean, bro, how is that? How did Robert fucking Jordan leave that quote? Right, that's like the last good thing we get from Loial. How did Robert Jordan leave that? And then just be like, and then Sanderson just did nothing with that, right? So the whole idea is that Loial actually shows potential as a speaker, and Loial is going to go address the Great Stump. Even though he's way under years, he's super young, he's inexperienced, that's not his job, he's going to go do that. And he gives that fucking speech, and Elder Hammond, right, is like, holy fucking shit. This kid's right. God, even his mom is moved to tears. You know what we fucking got? You know what we got? You want to know what we fucking got? Nothing. We got, in the very beginning of this book, Towers of Midnight, there is a very short 3-paragraph prologue. A prologue, 3 paragraphs from Loial's perspective. And it's not him arguing, it's not anything. It's not even his fucking speech. Here we go. It soon became obvious, even within the steading, that the pattern was growing frail. The sky darkened, our dead appeared, standing in rings outside the borders of the steading, looking in. Most troublingly, trees fell ill, and no song would heal them. It was in this time of sorrows that I stepped up to the Great Stump. At first I was forbidden, but my mother, Corville, demanded I have my chance. I do not know what sparked her change of heart, but she herself had argued quite decisively for the opposing side. My hands shook. I would be the last speaker, and most seemed to have already made up their minds to open the Book of Translation. They considered me an afterthought, and I knew that unless I spoke true, humanity would be left alone to face the Shadow. In that moment, my nervousness fled. I felt only a stillness, a calm sense of purpose. I opened my mouth, and I began to speak. That's it. Next we see Loial is in literally the next book. He just shows up. He just shows up and he goes, "Hey, I'm here to fight, guys. And I've got like a handful of Ogier guys with me." That's it. That's what we fucking got. We followed fucking Loial since fucking day one. This mild-mannered, peaceful thing, and this is what we get. His fucking arc leading all the way up to this. His fucking shining moment. This should have been his fucking moment. This is like that was like a Churchillian fucking, we'll fight them on the beaches. We'll fight them in the streets, right? It was supposed to be like that, bro. That's how it was supposed to fucking be. And what do we get? What do we get? Some fucking first-person account from his journal? Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking what? Dude, I am like 400 hours into this fucking audiobook series, and that's what you fucking give me? What, are you scared to give me another chapter? What the fuck is wrong with you, Brandon Sanderson? I hope you fucking hear this, you motherfucker. God damn him. Okay, so that's why I bumped it down to great. Everything else in this book's pretty good. But man, the way they did him fucking dirty, man. I was waiting. Like, can you imagine after reading Knife of Dreams, and we get that crazy fucking speech about fighting the shadow, and we get this? We get a fucking first-hand account from his fucking journal? What do you think I'm fucking 12? What the fuck is this? Huh? What the fuck is this shit? Come on, man. Fucking Brandon Sanderson. This is why I don't like him. That and Brandon Sanderson, and between this and between his executive decisions on the fucking TV show, I can't forgive him. I can't fucking forgive him for that. Because this book was easily amazing, you know. And if they had cleaned up the Perrin stuff, I think it would have been perfect. And I know that's kind of a fucking bold claim, right? But I think if they would have cleaned up Perrin a little bit, it would have been perfect. But this shit, how are you going to snub this man? How are you going to snub this fucking Ogier who has been a fucking loyal, get it? Loyal? A loyal companion since day fucking one. And this is how you fucking treat him? This is horseshit. Absolute fucking horseshit. I can't fucking believe this shit. So yeah, it bumps it down to just great. And if I really wanted to be like vindictive, I'd bump it down to good, but he does at least have a lot of other pretty good fucking scenes in this book. So I can't be that angry. But fuck, man, this is where we really start to see the cracks, where Jordan didn't leave enough. He didn't leave enough, and I'm not blaming Jordan. Obviously, he wasn't planning on fucking dying, so I can't get mad at Robert Jordan for this. But he didn't leave enough goddamn notes for Sanderson to adapt. Because as we have seen, when Sanderson had ample notes to follow, brother knew what the fuck he was doing. He knew what he was fucking doing. But he didn't. And I feel like that's what happened with Loyal. I know Jordan's work. There's no way he would have done that with Loyal. Absolutely no fucking way. Oh, fuck. Sorry, my blood pressure just fucking spiked. I'm angry.